Well, this next panel is about Solana, sort of. There's also going to be sort of general talks about NFTs, integration with various types of things, real-world assets, virtual assets, Metaverse, and yeah, just really what's coming up for different Solana communities and NFTs and that good stuff. Just want to give a quick shout. Wii U has sponsored the St. Michael party tonight. All BlockDown ticket holders are invited. Shuttle buses will depart from Hotel Ivan at 6 p.m. from the venue. So make sure you get there for that. It's going to be a good one. It's a huge fortress. Who doesn't love a fortress party? And then be early to the boat parties if you RSVP'd. So the time on the schedule is actually when it leaves, so make sure you get there early. Look forward to being on a boat later. But we've got some great content for you. Stick around. We have a coffee break after this panel. But yeah, super excited for them to give an insight to Solana, the current ecosystem, NFTs on it, and NFTs in general. With that, I'll give it over to our panelists. Thanks. Woo!
Znači u sredinu između vas.
All right, hey guys. My name is Nate Whitehill. I'm the CEO and co-founder of CryptoSlate. For those of you who don't know, CryptoSlate is a news, data, and directory platform for crypto and Web3. With that said, I will give this opportunity for the panelists to introduce themselves.
Hey, I'm Igor, one of the first people at Magic Eden, which is today the #1 marketplace on Solana for NFTs. I've been there like since day one and saw like our crazy growth in the past like 8 months, which is something that never happened on any other chain. So yeah, good up to Washi.
Yeah, hi, my name is Ivo Ivošević. People know me in space by nickname Voshi. I am founder and CEO of Blast Control, a consultancy agency that's working with projects on Solana, helping them with pretty much whatever they need. Before that, I was working at several high positions on big projects in the space, helped write the standard for NFTs on Solana. I've been there since the beginning, before the NFTs were on chain, and helped a lot along the way, being part of the journey.
Hi everyone, I'm JT Jovan Tishma. I'm co-founder of All Art Protocol. We have also marketplace on Solana. We started early last March, and it was like a hell of a ride with Solana ecosystem. We have so much friends now there, and I think we are best growing ecosystem in the NFT space at the moment. I think that you agree on that.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. So let's get right into it. What attracted you to build on the Solana ecosystem?
Yeah, I can take you that one. Like I started like on Solana, I would say like a year ago, and it was just like I started using the blockchain itself, like and doing DeFi there, and it felt so like like native. It felt like you can actually like do things now in DeFi. You can do like, I don't know, 50, 60 transactions a day and not feel it on your pocket. So like it felt like really native, and it felt like actually like the first blockchain that you can use from all of the blockchains there were, like. And I've been in crypto since like 2016, 2017, and I've been just like waiting for a point where actually like we can use blockchains, and that felt like kind of a Solana felt like this, and by using like DeFi and stuff, like NFTs were just like poaching in. So that was kind of the point where I said like, yeah, I want to stick here and like build around this blockchain. So yeah.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Like the first experience on Solana was just so great, like something that I never experienced anywhere else. Everything is so fast, everything is so cheap. You actually, staked some, I don't know, at the beginning it was like single staking radium, put some radium in there on their platform, and it was actually profitable to click collect every second and pay for a transaction because you were getting more by the second than the transaction. You know, like you could self-compound it manually and still be okay. Like that wasn't something that on any other chain was possible, and it just felt so nice, fast, and all of those promises that you heard from crypto before, how it should be, you know, fast and cheap and everything. This is the first time I felt it was actually like that, and of course it sparked my interest. I started researching more, learning about it. And then, you know, like even when it wasn't maybe such a clear winner in so many terms, it was something I already knew and then felt familiar with, and it felt like natural to do whatever I can in that ecosystem, starting to loving it and, you know, trying to do everything that I can to help grow, helping other projects. And you know, we built several tools during the last year that were missing and that a lot of projects use, like SPL distribution tool, first open source one, and you know, worked a lot on getting the metadata for NFTs right and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for us, it was like March, really early last year when we came to Solana, and there was no documentation, there was no standards, there was nothing. So we needed to figure it out on our own. But for us, the biggest advantage of Solana, okay, speed, transactions, it's a really fast and good blockchain. But the community, ecosystem, the other founders, we have the group on the Telegram of ecosystem. When we get in, it was like less than 100 people. Now it's like 2,000 people with new projects, helping out each other. So it's a really connected space, and it's easy if you want to build on Solana to become the part of the ecosystem. People are like to share their knowledge, and it's also a lot, as Washi said, it's a lot of cooperation, integrating the tools from one project to another, using tooling. So it's a really nice place to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's young enough that you felt like you can actually do things that help more people, but you know, like the short answer is came for the text, art for the JPEGs, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, it felt like, yeah, you can actually like do something here, and like you'll get like a lot of support. Well, like not just from the community, but also like from the foundation itself. You know, like the Solana Foundation, which is just something you don't have like on other chains.
Yeah. So it must have been a pretty big deal when SBF said that he was ready to buy all the Solana at $3 and told everyone to fuck off. For you guys, was that something, having SBF's kind of endorsement at that time, was that a big deal? How did you feel about that?
Especially good this morning, hoping that he sticks with what he said.
Yeah.
How things are turning out. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, for sure, there were personally for me some tough times in Solana where everybody would get a bit worried, and having that feeling that SBF is still, you know, kind of hopefully overexposed just as us.
Yeah.
helps feel a bit safer for sure.
So Solana has experienced a few outages since its inception. Are these outages a big deal? And if so, how do they affect development?
I mean, like they are not that much of a big deal, as like people would say, because like we recover like really fast, and that's like, I don't know, like growing pains, you know, of a growing blockchain. It's like, if you compare it to Ethereum is like an ecosystem that's almost a decade old, and it has like it had its, you know, like moments like that. And then you have like Solana, who is like, let's say like 2 years. Like the NFT ecosystem is like
Less than
1
2
year.
years managed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
so like it's still in beta, so like it's normal to have like outages like that, and just like growing, yeah, kind of the pains of growing the ecosystem itself and the network itself. Like people are getting just like, they're just getting onboarded. We're just getting like more validators and stuff. So like that's kind of a, like in my opinion, it didn't help. It didn't create like chaos. It didn't like I don't know, stop the development at all. You know. So like in my opinion, it's like, yeah, just something you have to go through.
I have a different kind of approach for this. for development, for us as a builders, it's okay because we are also growing together with a blockchain and this stuff are normal. But for the end users, nobody was expecting so much users so fast on Solana, and that's because of the NFTs, not because of DeFi. So if we only have the DeFi on Solana, it will be cool. But with the bots that wants to mint on every cool collection and a lot of, so we also see from the Google Analytics and everything that we have the people who are first time opening the Solflare or Phantom wallet and coming to Solana to mint. So they are really new adopters. So it's not that somebody came from Ethereum or from Polygon or something. No, this is the really new users. And Solana got so much of them last 6, 7 months. So that brings a lot of transactions. So in one moment, I think we had like how many thousands transactions. So it was totally crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like we have, like for example, like Magic Eden as a marketplace has like triple D transactions as OpenSea now.
Wow.
So like, yeah, compare this. Yeah, that's just like a fact that kind of helps you explain, you know.
I would say that like crypto is moving fast. Like everybody is aware of that. That when people say 1 month in crypto is like 1 year outside, and when I've heard that before, I thought people were, you know, over exaggerating. Now I think they were like even nice to how this moves. And Solana, I feel, is just that on steroids, like times 10. Move fast, break things is how things are usually approached in crypto. Solana takes that to another level, sometimes even maybe overdoing it a bit, but you can't say that it didn't work for Solana in so many ways. Like you have Solana developers tweeting things like mainnet or die, like DevNet is for losers. Like just go, do it, make it. If it breaks, do it again. It's usually the fastest way to get the right thing. Of course, sometimes you get a feeling people forget there's a lot of real money involved, but so far there wasn't an instance when anybody got hurt by it. We got 2 outages in October. The network went down for 17 hours, and that was actually not NFT related. And then on August 30th, it was NFT related, where 6 million transactions per second were tried to force to get, you know, some NFTs from a mint by bots.
Oh, wow.
And each time that happened, the validators rolled back to the last snapshot. Nothing was lost. Everything was fine. And I think that every time after that happened, you could see the developer like community on Solana get even more engaged, even faster. So from the outside, and I've seen that here because there is not a lot of people who follow Solana closely here. And they are all went like, what are you working on Solana? And then you hear the same 5 things that people outside of Solana heard on Solana from crypto Twitter, you know, and you would think that Solana is broken every second day. Like, let's get one thing wrong. When people from Solana start tweeting our TPS is shit, that TPS is still higher than top 30 other smart contract chains combined. That means shit for Solana. Like, Solana is staying right when things are nice at like over 6K regularly, possibly scaling to tens of thousands. So it's not as dark as it seems. Of course, it's not nice to say that, but considering how young our chain is, these things and worse things happen on other chains with consequences. So far, we don't have them here, luckily, and it seemed to be the way to move forward faster. So, yeah.
So what are the current challenges that creators face when developing NFTs?
First of all, they challenge that there is no enough knowledge about what they need to do. So they are not prepared at the moment, and then when they start doing collections and stuff, they're learning on their way. So they're making so much mistakes. Now it's better. On the beginning, it was like totally crazy how people were minting, doing metadata and stuff, but now it's better because tools are developed, the guidelines and help from the marketplaces or other players are written, so people can now learn from other mistakes. So now it's better. I think they are now much better covered than 6 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, there were no tools. Like, I remember, like, when we started a year ago, like, you had no tools to, like, generate images, generate the metadata, stuff like that. Like, the basic stuff, you didn't have any. And I don't know, like, 2-3 months ago, like, those started appearing, you know? Like, and all of kind of a supporting communities that were, like, working pro bono to help, like, creators as well. You know, and then you have, like, also, like, the Solana Foundation, who is trying to do their stuff. So, like, but, like, kind of the basic stuff, because, like, creators on Solana come to, like, kind of like explore stuff, explore NFTs. So they're kind of seeking for help, and that's why we, for example, as Magic Eden, opened, like, a launchpad. So we were, like, kind of the first marketplace that has also, like, a launchpad. And what that meant is, like, we want to support creators and we want to enable them to do stuff faster, you know, and, like, to enable them to create and express their ideas much faster and, like, much more easy. But yeah.
I think that we came to the spot where things are very well documented, and it's not hard to do it on Solana.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
like, these guys are the faces of two of the marketplaces there, and they got, like, I was there last October when nobody knew anything. Candy Machine wasn't there, and we were helping projects launch something, doing everything by hand. That was the only way we knew how to do it. Now it's way easier, but they are now faced with a bit of a different problem where everybody and their mother want to launch an NFT collection. So they are getting approached by people who just heard the name NFT and somebody making money from it, and now don't take the time to learn anything about the tech, anything. They just want to launch by Saturday. So I'm guessing they're, like, struggling with something different and trying to educate people who didn't take 2 days to try to understand how things work, you know. So, but even for them, it's becoming easier, as he said, because when Magic Eden tells you they have a launch pad, all you need to do is probably send them, you know, some pictures and some attributes, and you're done.
Yeah, and on the other hand, you have, like, really advanced teams who have their own tokens, their own NFT collections, and that raise a lot of money for their future projects or something like big metaverse or a big game that they want to make. And now what they are missing, and we will put it today, it's creators economies. So first time we will not use our token or Sol, so they can trade only in their native token on our platform, on the SolC. So, like, for the first test, like, we will play around with 85 famous collection. So we will enable that their community can only buy NFTs with their own tokens.
Okay, fascinating. And when talking about the metaverse, are NFTs a necessary asset of the metaverse? And will metaverses without digital asset ownership be destined to fail?
Yes. Yes, like, if we are looking at that, before we enter the marketplace and NFTs, we are in the theory of NFTs and metadata for more than 3 years. And we developed, like, the virtual exhibition space for galleries and museums. We can call it today Metaverse, before Metaverse. And what we saw from everything, we really need digital ownership. We really need a better set of metadata that we need to embed on the blockchain. And also for the good and open metaverse, we also need some regulations on that. Because if we have, like, real property, are you owning the villa or a boat or something in metaverse? Also, you need to have regulated that, because scams and everything will turn the space into chaos in the future. Because we think that metaverse will be much bigger than we are thinking now, but not in 1-2 years, in 10-15, because technology is still not. I will tell you how we see it. For example, before the Oculus Quest 2, people couldn't afford to buy a headsets that they can try at least. And a lot of people talking about the metaverse, and then we asking them, are you been in the VR sometimes? No. And then we put them on the head and say, like, look at now, wow, this is amazing. Oh, I can see my hands. I can talk with you in the metaverse. Wow, this is amazing. But people are still afraid, or they don't care. They're just talking about that, but not trying. So we need, as also for the NFTs, we need a more adoption and more education about what this new digital worlds will bring to us, and also what is important, how to see. So if we are putting like our kids and ourselves to live in metaverse, totally that's not good. We need to make that we have the real life experience, and addition to that, to have the metaverse experience.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you have to like also incentivize people, right, to go into the metaverse. The metaverse today is like, you know, like nobody even knows what a metaverse is. It's like kind of a hard topic. Like everything's metaverse, nothing is metaverse, right? But like if you want them kind of to move into it and do stuff, and you have to incentivize them in a way, and that's like why NFTs offer such a good solution to like incentivize people as well, you know.
I think that the metaverse, yeah, like it's a topic that I'm avoiding going into lately because everybody I speak to have a different definition of metaverse, and I feel like nobody is even close to what metaverse really is, right? Metaverse for some people is just anything VR is metaverse. For some people, anything that has NFTs and an asset. Like it's like going a few months back and talking about DAOs. Four of us will make a Telegram chat. Now we are DAO. You know, like that's it. We're going to vote what we're drinking tonight. We are a DAO. Everything is a DAO. Now everything is a metaverse. Everything that's connected with NFTs, with gaming, it's a metaverse. I got pitched 80 plus metaverse project in the last 3 weeks. People are having, I don't know, like white label VR chat solution. That's a metaverse. And there we're talking, you can have your metaverse, you can have your metaverse. Like, no, that's not what metaverse is, right? Metaverse should be something that connects everything that touches that chain in some way. That's how I think of the metaverse. So for example, if Solana would have its own metaverse, I would be able to go in, be it through VR, be it through my browser, it doesn't matter. I could go into that world, no matter if it's designed like a space or like a land, doesn't matter. And from there, enter any game that's connected, that has asset on chain, but even visit some, you know, DeFi protocols or a marketplace. I want to land on a planet and I want to buy an NFT, then I want to land on another planet, enter a game. I want to go in and live in that world where everything that's living in my wallet as an asset can be used in there, be it as a head, be it as an asset that I can buy things with, be it as an avatar that I'm using. That's how I think of metaverse. And people are kind of calling everything a metaverse right now.
Washi, we will have that in 6 months. You will try it.
6 months?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. You're going to have Magic Eden in there?
Yeah. Why not?
Fun.
It's an open metaverse.
Magic Marketplace is going into every metaverse, so like that's
Yeah,
that's
it's an
not
open
even a
metaverse,
question,
so
you know?
it's
Like
normal that we have
our
Magic.
SDK is ready. People are already building it,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So
6 months, you heard it here first. Magic Eden in all art metaverse.
Yeah.
is GameFi the biggest use case for NFTs currently? And what have you guys learned from some of the top NFT projects that have launched on Solana?
I mean, yeah,
economics.
it is. Now, like you had like a current meta that lasted, I would say like, I don't know, 6 months.
Staking?
That was like, yeah, GameFi staking, and that was it. And like, kind of you had like the first like, when it first appeared, it was like the Bryoku Dragons. They were kind of the collection that brought in this from, kind of they took inspiration from CyberKongs and ETH, and they brought it to Solana. And after them, everybody wanted to do that. But now you have like, before that, you had people that were just launching NFTs, and it was like no meta, you know, like you didn't have like any, they were just launching NFTs and seeing where it's going. And then like kind of the audience in Solana requested to have like a lot of utility, you know, which wasn't something that you had on ETH. But like as on Solana, a lot of people were building different things. You had like the community just started to request, you know, utility. And now you saw like after 6 months, you saw like, although they brought in utility, there was no like real utility, because like that's staking, that's breeding, but like what real do I get? So like we're also like trying to help projects now to integrate their tokens into like kind of to use them on Magic Eden, so you can trade like your collections or sub collections with their tokens, or you can do like, you can launch a collection on Launchpad by using your native token, stuff like that. But yeah, that was kind of the use case until now, and now I see like things are changing and going back kind of to the roots, where you kind of have to build your community first, have a strong community, and then do like parts of utility, or like do some other stuff. But yeah, it's not like gamify, in my opinion. Like it started too early, and it'll just come back like in 6 months or a year. But yeah, until now it was like the #1 use case.
We've been through several stages, right? We've been through, this is a good brand, this is a great community. Then we were like utility, utility, utility. Now I even hear investors saying, oh, they're trying to do something utility, I'm not throwing money into that. That's capped by their token. I'm looking at somebody who's actually going to just say, we're going to build a great brand. So we went through several stages, and something is going to work for a few months, then it's going to be a bit different, it's going to go in circles. But yeah, definitely, a lot of these tokens and staking and everything that was going on didn't make a lot of sense. Like pretty much is a kind of a Ponzi that sounds nice, and for one, I'm really glad that we started moving back to people actually, having to support it with something else than entering token mint command and giving people tokens that are worth nothing just because they logged their NFT. Like, it didn't make a lot of sense for me.
For me, yeah, it's a good use case, but I want to see these all big games that get so much money to start showcasing and have their game on the market, and that they are really using all of these utilities, what they were talking about. But for me, the biggest use case for 2022 will be the music in the NFT space, because that's the most, how to say, unfairly shared IP rights in the planet when we're looking the Web 2 and traditional industries. I spent a couple of years with like the major labels, and I had like my festival and my record labels, so I know how that goes. And I think that's going to be really, I didn't see the winner or something that really solves the problem yet, but I think who do that this year will be a big winner for the music industry.
Legal side of it is what's holding it down so far, but like music and ticketing are for a while now look like the easiest one to get there, where they actually can use this technology to make the space better. Games that are worth mentioning in the space, I think we are years away, just because the real gaming audience is so far not interesting at all to the people doing crypto stuff, because those people are not the ones that are going to pay thousands of dollars for, something in their game. So like, it's just worth way more targeting the crypto degen crowd and the gaming crowd, and they don't, care about if the game is actually fun to play and so on. So I think we are far away from actual good games being connected with crypto.
Yeah, if you want to bring masses, you're not going to bring masses with games. You're going to bring masses with music.
I think you can bring masses with games. It's just that it's not a profitable thing right now, and nobody cares. Like, I think you can steal a big portion of Steam players if you do some things, but those things are not going to bring you money for a few years, and so nobody's interested right now. Well, now where we had it, maybe that's like a bear market project. Like, well, everything is green and you can make money easily, nobody is focusing on that kind of stuff. Just wasn't worth it. But music, I think, can do things faster. It's easier, I think, to get it right.
Yeah, back to gaming, it seems like there's been some efforts from some big game developers like Ubisoft to integrate NFTs into their games, which has received a lot of pushback from the users. Do you think over time that mainstream gamers who are not into NFTs will be open to NFTs in their games, or is it forever?
Not with the current approach. That's my whole point. Like, before going into crypto, my background is like 13 years in gaming, in esports. I know that community, I know that audience. It's a very different beast, and they need a different approach. And I don't think anybody is ready to, like what I said before, for that approach right now, because it's not, like, if you get big company right now to go into crypto, how crypto companies and chains are selling it to them. Like, it's way easier to monetize, you can get a lot of money faster, but it's not going to work, because with that approach, you're not going to get the gaming audience. So I think sometimes in the future, yes, when somebody decides they're ready to really grind it out for a few years to get that adoption, and then start making money from it.
So zooming out a little bit, do you guys see NFTs as a stronger opportunity for mainstream adoption than simply buying and holding crypto?
I mean, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it definitely is, and it's proven to be so, especially on Solana. You have like this user influx because of it, because it's more fun, and it's like those PFPs now like kind of serve as the marketing for whole crypto, not just for NFTs. So like you have like a strong case that it's and that it's already been like that. So yeah, definitely, it's a better entry point for kind of like the normies to come into crypto and then like start the journey. That's how, for example, like we with our Magic ticket, which is kind of an NFT we issued, is something we want to achieve. So basically, we want to onboard users, give them the Magic ticket, where they could join our Discord server, our like quote unquote like DAO, where they can learn stuff, where they can where they can start their journey. So they can learn about like different NFTs, they can learn about like different DeFi stuff, and they can learn about like the crypto ecosystem as a whole. Like that's kind of our idea how to do it with an NFT.
And it's way easier to look at a picture than charts, right? So
No, but it's really, as we talked earlier, it's really happening because NFTs are something that bring also celebrities, bring normal people, and it's easier for them to buy because and also for the chain. Solana is now doing this, but at 5 years they will not look is it Solana or it's it. People will not care. They will care about the NFTs and their digital property that they can buy, sell, and hold or enjoying them. They will not care about the technology. So that's the trick with NFTs because it's much more about the tangible assets in the digital form than the TradeFi and quant finance and pools and swaps and stuff in DeFi. So DeFi will never have that mainstream context like we have it with the NFTs. And you can see like that Shaquille O'Neal, Jordan, Jordan kids, I don't know, like famous producers from the Hollywood. Everybody is going inside. We also had on the seat Donald Trump's NFT collection because we are open. We couldn't like put them off, but yeah, they also made it. It's awful and scary, but
make wall art great again.
yeah, it's funny, but that's and also it's important that it's open. There is no things like on a Twitter that somebody can ban you or something. So if we keep the NFTs as an open place for the digital asset, that could be great.
So with Coinbase and Kraken recently launching NFT marketplaces, are we getting to a place where there's too many NFT marketplaces?
Oh, FTX showed us how that.
I mean, like, no, like why? There's like 8 billion people in the world, so like there's not enough like marketplaces. But like I feel like marketplaces will have to like kind of a segment into like different categories, and there you have like I don't know, like you had like those major players like FTX jumping in, right? And what did they do? Nothing. Because why? Because they don't do stuff on chain. They require KYC. So that's why I don't see like players like that kind of succeeding for now, because like requiring KYC is like a big no in the NFT industry, And that's why we saw like after this like it brought like it was kind of a bullish news, right? It brought probably like a couple of bucks in the ecosystem, but everybody stayed at kind of a Magic Eden.
It's like really like that because it's not their job, Like Binance opened their marketplace, Huobi, I don't know, FTX, all of this like big American, but like Igor said, it's not their native stuff, and also like they try to do the DeFi on the centralized exchange, giving you some API, but the smaller ones, and that never succeed. So I think that there is, and we will have the new marketplaces for sure, who will be like running fast and good on the different blockchains or cross chains. And I think, yeah, that there is a lot of more space because new billion are coming to crypto.
People get interested, like in crypto, they first usually end up on an exchange, right? And then some people who wants to learn more after a few months, usually I'd say on average, move to DeFi because they understand, but it's way more complicated. That switch requires people to learn, to understand, to kind of be in there. If you learn from Kraken or FTX about NFTs, go there. You need like a 3 sentences explanation to move to buying on Magic Eden with a wallet, not having to KYC, everything is simple or simpler. So that's a big difference, right? For somebody who wants to do trading or something, experience on exchanges usually simpler and easier. For NFTs is the other way around. So I think all of them opening marketplaces is just going to bring more users to actually on-chain marketplaces. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I just don't think they're going to really make it. Crypto.com, I think, did really well with their NFT, but they were so early, and they were just selling out everything. Like Snoop Dogg, little picture saying 420, but Snoop Dogg is behind it, like sell it, everything. But all the others that are going to use like chains that are really popular in NFTs, I don't think they're going to get a big piece of the pie. But they're going to bring new users, which is great.
Okay. Last question, then we'll open it up for questions. Where do you guys see NFT adoption within the next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years. Oh, that's a tough one.
Let's talk about weeks.
I talk about, like, when we talk, it's like weeks, but yeah, like, I see them all around. It's especially like, yeah, like Johan said, it's like definitely tickets, the ticketing industry. It's something I see where something should kind of shake up the decentralized players, also music as well. And that's like kind of like the best use cases for Solana NFTs, but I also see like NFTs in general, like government issued, like driver license, like you have like an ID and everything in NFTs. It's non-fungible, so yeah. All around, like, but yeah, hard to say, like 5 to 10 years, I never heard somebody asking me like 5 to 10 years, to be honest.
I'm scared to make predictions. Like in July last year, I would have bet that by autumn the whole NFT bubble will pop, because why would somebody keep buying pixelated monkeys for 5 months? Like, I was very wrong. I agree with him, but I'm saying that for a long time, ticketing makes perfect sense, music makes perfect sense. I do think that in the future, something like Steam Marketplace, but with a really full digital ownership and selling it to gamers with, you don't want Gaben to be taking a cut from you or be able to shut down your account if somebody really decides to make a real metaverse and stops thinking that small is what can happen. But 5-10 years is so long that like, who knows?
Yeah, I think it will be really a lot of use cases in the world for NFTs, but first we need a good digital identity on-chain. So not off-chain KYC, but we also really need to know with who we are making the deals. Because in the future, if we onboard billions of people and we want some security and not fraud or money laundering or financing terrorism, we really need to know if somebody's buying a monkey of $500,000, who is buying that. Because with that, at the end, like, you don't need to have it publicly, but in the case that something went wrong, that you can always reveal the identity of that person. Because I think the security of the DeFi space and Web3, it's something that will kick us in next couple of years. It's cool now where we have all anonymity and everything, but I think between ourselves we need to. Talking about the KYC or identity, what we have now with the governments, but we need also to develop something that it's Web3 identity, and that you really care for your identity and who you are in Web3 space, and you don't want to mess to lose your let's say rank or something. Because like with all of these flippers, scammers and everything, we will not go far away if we don't get some laws and rules inside the space.
Fantastic. Does the audience have any questions? Yeah, feel free. Oh, okay, cool.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, really good chat. I'm also a builder on Solana. I built the Amulet, the DeFi insurance protocol that is coming out in June. But in our kind of process of building and specifically around raising and being a Solana protocol, we've had so much kind of backlash and kind of Solana haters, so to speak, that we have to put up with. And I was wondering what some of your rebuttals have been to the haters when either you've been talking to investors or to users or anybody who is just like, oh, it's too centralized, it's too controlled, it's going to fall apart, blah, blah, blah. What have been some of your responses? Any good ones that I should use?
You call the next number. There is enough investors throwing money in the space that you don't need to listen to those ones. No, but you want to take it?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of it's hard, but like what we showed and what our experience was just like building and showing, by showing like by the stuff we built, but and also like by decentralization. It's a big topic, and like decentralization, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, decentralization as a whole would bring to anarchy, and what that means for Solana, what I think having like so much centralization is also like a lot of help from the foundation itself. That's something you don't have on other chains. That's something you have on Polygon, you have on Solana, and you have on some other chains. So like I see that like kind of as a benefit as a whole.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, I don't see that centralization or decentralization. I think that's also like the politics and rumors. You can see that something is decentralized or is centralized. It's also like who is owning what, and we don't know that. But I think that, as I said, like in 5 years, nobody will talking about centralization, decentralization. People will just use the blockchain as a Web3 tool, as a technology. So I'm not concerned about centralized Solana nodes.
But yeah, that's the FUD you get, right? No.
Cool, I'm not sure. Do we have time for one more question, guys?
Of course we do. The question is, do we have another question? Yes.
Hello. So what are you doing to incentivize developers to build on Solana?
Well, us personally trying to help, but Solana itself is doing a lot during the last year.
Yeah, you can get like different grants. Also, like we as a marketplace offer kind of a developers help in different stages. So we're building also like a lot of infrastructure that kind of you can use to make it easier on you, so you can build like different stuff and focus on kind of the things that you're good at, and we take care of the rest. So what that means, like yeah, like the SDK for a marketplace where you can do like an in-game marketplace in a couple of clicks. So that's kind of what we're doing, is by helping with advice. We use Magic Eden helping with advice and helping also like with a part of the infrastructure. And what Solana does is definitely like offer a lot of support and also like different grants.
You have several programs that are supporting developers with grants. You have hackathons every 3 months with great rewards. You have them trying to connect the developers to form teams and trying to find ways to help them. And they are trying to do something new now also that would kind of, aim to accelerate it even more. And personally, like me and my team have been working with, like in the last 6 months, with 25 plus projects, trying to help in different ways, connecting with the right people, help them with understanding the space and the tech and everything.
I think there is, as they said, like a lot of incentives for developers to come to Solana. First is foundation help, grants from Serum, from Solana Foundation, from Mango Markets, whatever for the DeFi. So from the Gem Capital, everything. So also it's ecosystem with investors like SBF who are following and the funds. So it's much easier for developer when they combine the team and everything to raise money and to get with the product live on Solana than on other chains that are not so connected with the foundation. And decentralization is good because we know each other and we can help each other on building stuff, and also advices from other builders, and it's easy to find advisors or to get the help from the marketplaces like us or protocols or order books like Serum. It's really nice playground. So and also like now in the region, if you're staying from 2nd to 6th July, we will have the Hacker House in Belgrade. Before that, you have Barcelona Hacker House,
London.
and London Hacker House. So that's like the week of like having intensive work with developers. You can hack there, present on the demo day after the 7 days, and introduce your product to the Solana ecosystem, and also meet with other teams and everything, like we did on the Bahamas Hacker House with Amulet projects. And yeah, it's really nice.
Cool. Thank you so much, guys. That was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.